veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of others. So if I can avoid demanding your exploitation, I do so.
Right.
So I'm just curious, hearing that definition, does that fit like more in line with your principles?
No.
Awesome. I'm live on YouTube. Is that okay?
I guess so, depending on what you're going to ask me about.
Oh, okay. It's just
Let's see.
real basic, just kind of challenging. I'm pretty sure you already have these principles. No worries, no worries. So I'm just asking people about oppression, which means prolonged cruel treatment. Do you think the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
Well, just phrased like that, no.
Right, I agree. What if the powerful are really strong? Should they have the right to oppress the weak?
No.
Okay, I know it seems obvious.
Okay.
Should the oppressor, if they're really smart, have the right to oppress others? Okay. What if the powerless are small, maybe can't stand upright, covered in hair? Should we oppress them?
Sort of see where it's going, and no, I would think not. Oh, no.
Right, agreed. So this next question, I'm sure you see where I'm going, but I'm not trying to catch you off guard.
No, sure, go ahead.
I did this, and I don't want you to feel judged. What about the animals that we send to slaughterhouses or use in entertainment or use for clothing? Do you think that we're oppressing them?
Probably, yes. And, well, okay, yes. I guess, if you put it like that, the answer is probably yes.
It takes a big person to be honest about it, because it's kind of a weird topic that we don't talk about often. And honestly,
I don't know if I'd use the word oppressing. I might say we're abusing or misusing them. I mean,
well,
yes.
So again, oppression is prolonged cruel treatment.
Oh, yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a word we don't use that often, oppression, right? So if we agree that, it's not fair for them, do you know what the word vegan is?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me what you think it means.
Well, it's some.
No worries.
Sorry,
yeah, whatever you view as.
I probably say he doesn't eat any animal products at all. Maybe he doesn't even use them.
Yeah, that is something we do.
Yeah, okay.
Why do you think someone who calls themselves vegan would want to avoid all animal products?
Well, exactly the reason you just said, I imagine.
Exactly.
Yes.
That exploitation, right?
Right.
Yeah, veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of others. So if I can avoid demanding your exploitation, I do so.
Right.
So I'm just curious, hearing that definition, does that fit like more in line with your principles?
No. It fits my principles, but if you're going to say, are you a vegan? The honest answer is, no, I'm not. Yes, I guess it would fit with my principles. Why am I not a vegan? Probably for the same reason as 50% of the people you stopped who said the same things are. It's just,
what about from leaving this conversation vegan?
Yeah. Oh, leaving this conversation? I've had this sort of thought and conversation with people before, and sometimes I think, I probably should eat less meat or something like that. Eat less meat, but I've never gone the whole way, and the honest answer is probably because I'm used to it, it's a bit inconvenient. But if you put it as a sort of moral question, then I don't really have a good defense. That's the answer.
Absolutely. That's why I'm actually out here. Most people are just not really aware that they're crossing their own principles, because most people agree causing animals unnecessary harm is immoral, right? Like if I was kicking a dog for fun, I should stop, right?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't kick the dog for fun.
Exactly.
I mean, I think
I can kick something else.
This is something I'm probably aware of. I don't have an excuse.
I'm not looking for an excuse.
No, I know. Well, I realize that.
Yeah, I'm not judging you for your past. I did it for a long time as well. I'm more bringing awareness to people that, hey, we don't need to do this. There's actually every alternative we could need. And in fact, we don't even need these alternatives we're coming out with. You can eat a whole food, plant-based diet. In fact, I have a resource for you if you're willing to take it.
I'll say something about this. This is not an excuse, but I have a friend who's a vegan, and he has, the kind of healthiest, most restrictive diet of anyone I kind of know.
It is what you want to make it.
Yeah, and he does have trouble actually eating. We can't go anywhere where he can eat anything. So
why is he vegan?
Actually, I think it's more for health reasons and ethical reasons. I know it's for health reasons. It could be for ethical reasons as well. And this, again, isn't an excuse, but I'll just sort of make the point. The fact that whenever he's a running friend of mine, if we go running somewhere, we go out for breakfast or anything, Gary will go, well, of course, there'll be nothing I can eat anywhere. There really isn't. His diet's so restrictive. So I think with that in mind, this is maybe one of the reasons why people maybe think about these things when it's put to them starkly like you are now.
Yeah.
But when they go into the real world, sometimes it's not as straightforward as might be. It's getting easier, I think.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead, yeah.
If you were the victim, if you were the animals,
yes,
what would you want your oppressor to do? make the effort to avoid using you, or just use you out of convenience?
Of course, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, when you put it like that, there isn't. Well, okay, Alex Denis, yes, it is. I guess you're absolutely right about it. But as I think about it, it helps people to behave better. You have to. Maybe you shouldn't compromise your ideals or your moral principles just because it's difficult. Sometimes you have to do difficult things. However, if we can make it easier for people to do the right thing.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like I'm just thinking about.
You actually live in one of the most vegan cities in the world.
Yeah,
Portland.
case in point. So does Gary, and he says he really can't find stuff he can eat, even so.
Well, so why does he remain vegan though, if it's so hard?
God knows. So you should get him and ask him.
Well, why don't you? You should ask him. You should ask him, because if it's about the animals, the reason is because if I were the animal, I would want to be free and not exploited.
Sure.
And that sticks in my mind. Even if I'm going to a restaurant with my friends that has no options for me, I'm not going to be tempted to consume, because I wouldn't. That could be me, right? What would you want your oppressor to do? Like,
I mean, I sort of agree. You put it a funny way. I don't know if the animals would know. If they could say that what they wanted, they wouldn't want it. But
regardless if they're aware or not, right?
Yeah, it's wrong. You're absolutely right.
I was going to say, because we have humans that could be completely unaware of their exploitation, but we would still find it immoral to exploit them, use them for labor or flesh or whatever. Yeah. Well, so I gave you that card.
Oh, you did, yes.
The first thing you'll see when you scan it is a documentary called Dominion. If you are going to continue to use animals, you should know what it is you're demanding. It's not a gotcha film. It's literally just showing you what's allowed. So that way when you're in the store, you're not hypnotized by these happy animal images, because they want you to paint a picture in your mind that these animals are okay with this. You should know the reality.
No, I mean, I don't. Sure, then.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, right? I mean.
Right, and again, I'm not judging you.
No,
you sound like a very open-minded person, and it sounds like this really is kind of a genuine first time of considering it, maybe.
No, it's not. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I think I don't give it a lot of consideration, but you know, I've thought about this before, and I'm aware of the fact that, maybe I should do more about it, but I haven't. I've got used to it. It's difficult.
Much do something. It's more like lack of doing something. I'm just asking you to avoid.
Particularly change what I eat. Yeah.
On that card, there's also other resources. There's something called nutritionfacts.org. If you scan it. That's if you want to find our group. The colorful side, though, that one will give you resources. If you scroll down below the documentary, there's something called nutritionfacts.org, and they show you all the studies if you wanted to. But they also found a science-backed diet of just. They make a little checklist. Okay. So just whole foods, you can get everything you need in a day. So you could start with that as a base and then just kind of play around with the diet, seeing what you like. You don't have to be as restrictive as Gary. Gary sounds like for health reasons, he's maybe doing like really healthy. But there's vegan junk food out there that's also inexpensive. And especially here, there's even vegan vendors here too. There's a vegan cheese vendor, I think, over there called Vetopia. So definitely check them out too.
Okay, so let me ask about the vegan cheese. So you'd say that even dairy cows are basically being abused?
Yeah, so do you know what a dairy cow has to go through in order to produce dairy?
I know what it might be. I mean, probably getting various hormone injections and things like that. I don't know exactly.
But that's not the main issue. Would you put that on the site?
What's the main issue with
the main issue is
cows?
This happens on small farms, big farms, doesn't matter. This is standard practice. So a cow is a mammal, and mammals only produce milk when they give birth. So do you think she decides when she gets pregnant, or does the farmer decide?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the farmer decides. I don't know whether I'd have to think more about that. Such a big
definitely look into it.
I will,
I think it's something like 70% of the cows are AI'd, artificially inseminated. So the way they do that is the farmer puts on a glove that goes up to his shoulder, and then he penetrates her in the bum with his arm. He has to hold her cervix through her colon, like as if her colon is a glove, and then in her vagina he squeezes in bull semen that they literally jacked off of a bull by hand. And then when they put it inside her, they have to massage it in her. I mean, if we saw anybody doing this to another animal, we would be horrified, right? That is just grotesque. That is bestiality. He's penetrating a cow, going back. They literally are looking for what's called the slick, which means that she has a higher chance of being fertilized, and she enjoyed what was happening right there, or at least it gave her that moment.
Okay.
But it was against her will. They didn't ask for her consent, right? They just forced it on her. And then after 9 months, she'll give birth to a baby.
Well, to be fair, how would we ask an animal for consent for anything?
Right, we can't get reliable
I mean,
consent.
you can't ask your dog whether it wants to go for a walk in the rain,
Right.
can
If
we?
you can't ask me
Yeah.
to do anything to my body, does that give you the right to do what you want to me?
No, it doesn't. I'm just thinking about all sorts of things that people have with pets where you can't ask.
Right, so when it's in
consent for
their
anything,
best
but anyway,
interest,
yeah.
right? Like
Sure.
if they need a
Yeah.
medical treatment, yes, we can't ask their consent, but
Sure.
we're doing it in their best interest, not ours.
Yeah, no,
When
sure.
we send an animal to slaughterhouse or we rape a cow for her milk, we're not doing that in her best interest, right? We're doing that for us.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
And that milk, who is that for?
Yeah. Okay.
It's for her baby. It's not for us. So we're separating a family. We're first violating someone and separating her from her family over and over again, just so we can pour something in our coffee and cereal. It's just not fair. Eggs are another one that are kind of hidden. People think if I go to a free range kind of place that has chickens running around, you'll notice they're all female. Where are the males? Males don't produce eggs. So what they do is small farms might sell off the males, but there's so many that not all of them are going to be like kept to maintain a flock of other birds. Most often they're either going to be eaten or the first day of life, this is the most common, they're killed right day one. In fact, I think it's like 8 billion chicks a year in America are blended up for the egg industry because they don't produce anything and they're wasteful. So they literally, when they're popped out of their shell, peeping around, they're on a conveyor belt and they get dropped into a blender, fully conscious.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you get eggs anywhere, even small farms sometimes just tie them off in a bag or gas them. It's horrendous what we do to animals. But this is what's hidden, behind the curtain, if you will.
Sure. Well,
Does it feel comfortable to support that?
If I really think about it, no, it doesn't in a way. Of course not.
Absolutely.
But you're pulling the curtain back. Where is it going live to now?
This is just YouTube. If you look at the card, it says anti-animal use. You can find the live right now
Okay.
on YouTube. You can look back at it and
Sure.
see how we did.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely check it out. Also, I just want to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
Knowing now all that we know, animals are sentient, meaning they are able to experience their own emotions and feelings like pain and joy. How many more animals do you want exploited for you? More than 0?
I mean, I'd have to give the answer. I don't want animals exploited for me, so I certainly go
Exactly.
away and think about it some further. Of course.
Yeah. So
It's
just
an
know,
interesting conversation.
just know that 0 means you have to go vegan because every time you
Of
accept
course,
that
yeah.
package, they have to replace what you've taken. So you're sending the next animal in there, and they're only there from our demand. So
Sure.
awesome. I really appreciate
Okay,
you having
yeah,
that
thank you very
talk.
much.
Can I give you an elbow? What was your
Sure.
name one more time?
Gareth.
Gareth, thank you so much for talking to me. You have a great day. Enjoy the farmer's market. Yeah. Wow, guys, that was amazing. He was a little resistant, but he was open-minded, and I like that. I like being challenged a little bit. I don't want people to just believe everything I say. I want them to be, I want to know if this is the truth or not, and that's important.